So today I'm just gonna go over just some concepts that maybe you haven't discovered yet in your jiu-jitsu journey, okay? And one of the main things is understanding grips on the gi, what each grip does and why it's important, okay? So in jiu-jitsu, a grip is a point of control, right? Naturally you're gonna grip the gi because it's there and you need that to pull yourself to them. There's a lot, it's very instinctual to just grab the gi and pull on someone, but you kind of have to know what you're doing with it. And each grip kind of does a different thing. Like a collar grip, if I grab his collar, from a standing position, obviously it's going to be different from on the ground, but the collar really only allows me to pull myself to him. So from the bottom, it can be risky to just go for a collar, because if you're just pulling the guy, if I'm just pulling him, it kind of pulls him into me sometimes if you're just gripping a collar. Sometimes if you do a cross collar, it's a little safer because I can push a little bit with the cross collar grip. My hand gets stuck in his gi and I can push on his collarbone if he tries to get too close. But if I do this one, if we try and push, a lot of times it'll slide over his shoulder. And he can get closer and try and pin me down and press my legs together and pass my guard. So when you're playing guard, especially, those are when the grips are most important from a defensive standpoint, right? So I want sleeve grips, I want collar grips. I try to avoid the same side collar grip, like I said, because it can slide over. So if you're gonna get a grip while you're playing any sort of guard, you want a cross grip and a sleeve grip, or maybe a pants grip, or one of those situations, right? So I feel like in jiu-jitsu, you start off sort of understanding what the guard is more than what the passing is. Guard, it's a little easier. The goal is very clear. Don't let the guy put his weight on you and keep him away, keep him away. You're just playing a game of keep away. So it can be difficult to transition into understanding how to pass the guard. Because a lot of times people, they develop their guard first. They get a good half guard, they get a good spider guard depending on your body type. And it can be difficult for you to learn how to pass on top after you've dedicated yourself to learning guard so much. And passing is a lot more technical than playing guard, I feel. I feel like playing guard, it's a little more straightforward, and passing is a little harder sometimes. So because he's going to be going for these grips, they give him a lot of control. And the reason it gives him a lot of control is because if you look, it's going to be 4 limbs versus 2 a lot of times, right? Both my feet are on the ground. They're not controlling him in any way. But he has his his feet, his hands, he can twist me and turn me, and it's just 4 limbs against 2. That's why sometimes in the beginning levels of jiu-jitsu, the guy on the bottom can have an advantage. So you'll see a lot of people really commit themselves to the guard because it's a little easier, because it's 4 limbs against 2 a lot of the time. So to make it an even fight, you have to learn how to break grips and make the fight even again. Because he's using so many limbs to control me, I need to constantly be fighting to make the fight even. And the way I do that is making sure he doesn't have control over my body, okay? So if he has a collar and a sleeve grip here, he's gonna be putting his feet on my hips, he may be trying to stretch me out, he could be doing anything, right? To make this fight even, I need to eliminate his grips, because I only have 2 grips here, okay? I have 2, but he has 4. He's got this hook on my leg, he's got this foot on my hip, sleeve and collar. So I can try to do stuff, and if I can clear his feet, I may be able to get around and do some stuff. But chances are, because he has these hand grips too, he's gonna be able to lock me down. So what I need to do first is always address these hand grips. The way I address them is I just break them. So I don't break his hand, but I break the grip. I just like to grab the gi or the wrist and just pull away to break that grip. Now if he has a sleeve grip, this especially is a kind of a hard grip to break, but I just like to weave my hand to make it a little more uncomfortable for him to hang on. Now look, he has no grips, but I can get my grips at any time. If he tries to grab my sleeve, I can pull it away. If he tries to grab my other sleeve, I can pull it away. So now I can control what happens. I can move when I want to move. Instead of being caught up in his guard, every movement, he's gonna feel it as I do it, and he'll be ready. He can kick my leg, he can off balance me, and now he's kind of controlling the fight. So the only way for me to turn it back in my favor is to break the grip. Weave my hand out, I can break this grip. I can stand up, I can push his hook off my leg here, and now I can do what I want to do. Most of the time, if a guy's tying you up a lot with grips, a very good option is after I break the grip to go double unders. Connect my hands and start driving forward, because now all of the gripping options he has are on the outsides of his legs. So it's going to be 2 against 2. His 2 grips against my 2 grips. His legs aren't doing anything anymore. He's not using his feet on my hips. So now it's 2 versus 2. It's a fair fight. I can stack him. I can start using gravity to drive him over, make him uncomfortable, do all sorts of stuff like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to address some of the guards you'll see, which are guards are basically just the different grips that the person's going to use. For instance, one guard that's very difficult to pass is the leg lasso guard. He'll grab my sleeve and he'll lasso his leg around. Call it a lasso just because it can tie you up really easily. And if I don't break this grip, I'm going to be stuck here because he's controlling this arm totally. Now it's like 1 against 4 because I can't do anything with this hand, right? I can move it around a little, but if I can't grip or do anything with it, it's not really going to help me much. So this guard especially is very strong. If you're looking for a new guard to play, this is a very good one to try and learn, and because it's very good defensively, and there's a lot of tricky offensive stuff you can do as well. So we're going to learn how to break this grip first. So breaking this lasso grip can be a little difficult, especially if the guy has a strong grip here. The best defense is to see it coming. So if someone ever grabs my sleeve, and I feel like they're throwing this leg over, the second I see that foot throwing over, I need to react to it. Turn my hand out before he gets that hook, because once he gets that hook, I can try and turn my hand out, but if he has a strong grip and he just keeps his elbow pulled, I'm not going to be able to turn my hand. You can still do it, but the best way to avoid this is to see it coming. When those legs starts to come over, turn my hand to the outside, here. So now even if he puts his leg through, look, my hand is here on the outside. He's kind of shutting himself down. I can easily just move away, put pressure on his legs, and that grip's not really going to do much anymore, right? Now, like I said, that does take a little bit of reflexes, timing, which, like, learning the timing as you see that foot coming over can take years. Like, I only just started to, like, react properly. You know, a lot of times I get caught in this position, and I'm stuck here. But there's a few things we can do to deal with this situation, even if we do get caught here. And one of them is a sneaky little trick I learned when I was in Japan, actually. And what they do there is, when they get caught in this position, they turn their hand up like they're holding a cup of tea or something, right? And I'm gonna turn my hand out. I'm not just gonna go down and around, because if I just go down, it's not as strong. You can pull it right back. But if I turn my hand like this, I have a lot of leverage here. Making sure my palm's up the whole time. Sort of extending his fingers here, but you can get caught here still. It's still a tight grip. When you do this with your drilling partner, you'll feel that you can kind of get stuck here. There's a lot of resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my knee and put my hand behind my knee and just use that as a little extra leverage to just turn my hand out. So I just bring my knee up. I like to just lock it behind my knee. I'm just going to move my knee to the outside and then weave my hand. So on this side, it looks like this. Here, to break that grip. Once we break the grip, it's important you don't just settle again. If I just let him get his grip back, all that was for nothing. So every time you break a grip, I need to move and try and get past his guard. Try and pin him down again, okay? So each time you break a grip, that's your opportunity to strike, because that's the moment that it's a fair fight again. If you let him get these grips, you have to be a lot higher skill level to actually pass the guy's guard while he has those grips. In an even fight, the guy with the grips will win, okay? And once I break the grips, I'm trying to force a situation where he can't grip me, which means I want him to, like, push off of me. So say he has spider guard. It's here, spider guard. I like to break these grips in a different way, but we won't talk about that right now. But I'll break the grips and I'll get myself out of the situation. The second I'm free, I like to do like a Toriano pass. And as I go to Toriano, what is he gonna do? Is he gripping me? No, he's pushing on me. So now he may push, he may recover, but look, as he recovers, he's got no grips. I can go to the other side. He's gonna have to push again. I'll keep dragging, I'll keep dragging. All this time, he can't really use grips. I'm trying to control until there's no grips on me. So I'm controlling the fight. That's the passer's job. Is to be putting pressure so much that the guy in bottom is forced to push instead of grip. If the guy's pushing, that means he's not trying to choke you, that means he's not trying to sweep you. All he's doing is pushing. You're 100% safe. If he starts gripping your sleeve, if he grips my sleeve while I'm trying to do this, now I might start doing danger. He can reverse me and come on top. The grips are what's dangerous. If you start feeling a guy grip you up, you need to address the grip always, right away. Okay? So the first one we're gonna do is from the lasso. The guy's gonna get the lasso. As I see it coming, I wanna weave my hand out. Once it's there, he may hold the grip still, but all I have to do is sort of just uppercut. And he's not gonna be able to hang on. So we wanna be able to just weave it out as we see it coming. We're gonna practice that a couple times. Break the grip, he grips again. Weave out before it gets there. Then we're gonna try a couple times where he locks it in fully. turn my hand out, put my knee behind it, use that, and break the grip. Okay? So that's all we're doing first. All right, guys, on three. 1, 2, 3.